Kia ora, welcome to another Nebulous cast. Just about to load into the game. We'll see what goodies we've got lined up for us. This is a 5v5 on this beautiful map. I forgot what the name of the map is. I really like this map because the giant asteroid with the hole in the middle creates some really interesting gameplay. Ah, I haven't seen the version with this little side passage here. Could add for some really interesting light play. Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got a fairly stacked up team one. Um, Fairly stacked up team two. There's going to be a lot of vessels in this game. Just doing a quick count. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like 10 ANS vessels versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 OSP. Getting close to the launch. Let's see what's getting the glory shot. Oh, a nice little Vauxhall. One of my favorite chassis. Is this a missile one? Yeah. What do we got? A full load. And then all in on a Sarissa point defense. Very interesting. Probably extremely exposed to fighters. Okay, let's go quickly through. We've got a pure carrier fleet. How many little ships do we have? That is a full load of Tantos. You love to see it. And do we have similar here? No. We've got one Seawac and then another bunch of Tantos. I feel like fighter only is more viable on the OSP side at the moment. That's just from a couple games played myself. The ANS bomber is actually quite decent, but maybe that's just some personal bias. Anyway, we've got 3 DDs. Looks like they might all be beamers. They've got some. Oh, they got a little bit of torpedo work. Also got some decoys and small missiles. Looks like fairly well-rounded platforms. Depending on what they come across, they'd be able to take out quite a few little critters. With the 2 stone walls, are they all copies? Yeah, with the 2 stone walls each, they'll have a fairly decent anti-air cover, but not enough to prevent a full airstrike. Okay, we've got our classic battleship here. Looks like a full beam battleship. Okay, absolutely terrifying at close range. Some decoys. Now this looks like a fairly decent amount. We've got the jammer as well, and a little escort ship with jammers and PD. That is a battleship that should be able to stand up to most air attack. Sorry this phase of the game takes me so long. I'm always going through all different things. Okay, we are going to see a missile launch. Looks like these are cruise missiles. Let's get a close look at that. Yeah. So that is a lovely little oh, a self-jamming cruise missile. We'll see how that one goes. Going straight for that. It's a shame that spectators don't get a breakdown of the missile. I guess we can just go here. Okay. Interesting. It's a EO one. I do feel for this little beastie here. We are getting some fire on it, and it's gone. Yeah, kind of sending a missile into the thing. Looking at that missile, that would probably be about 40 points that was just kind of tossed away. Perhaps Ryan was just trying to get an opportunistic ship headed up the gullet, or was fishing for information. On the points breakdown, it's currently 50-50. That middle point, always quite difficult to take. Yeah, our battleship is going to go for it, potentially. They're definitely on course for it. Risky, risky, risky. With... Okay, so we've got some bombers coming through. Yeah, got a few bombers and fighters coming through. Direct HE frag. And they'll be trying to establish space superiority for that battleship. Now going over the OSP side. Oh, I love these kinds of ships. Just pure support E-warships. This is a double jammer with a dazzler, which actually may come into handy against that fully missile loaded light cruiser. And it is supporting two heavily armed line ships. Now we can see that these have the full, is that port side loading? Someone's under a lock. Okay, identical ships. These are heavy loadouts. These are heavy loadouts. Lots of the smaller cannons to provide support, and they've already lined up on these poor beam destroyers. What's the range looking like? Is there a range drawing tool? I feel like there should be a range drawing tool. Oof. They are not within good range. They do have this rock to provide them cover. If they get close enough, they'll be able to do some good damage. But as you can see, they cannot withstand two full line ships worth of barrage. Going around here, we've got another heavily armed line ship. This one seems to be backing up the other two. They're kind of going for a heavy right flank push. Are these some... Oh, okay, we've got some beautiful line missiles. Line missiles, container missiles being routed around. Now, the flak is very good against the SM2s, SM3s, and what are they called? SM200s, SM300s, and the fighters. They are not excellent against containers, which tend to be packed with a little more juice, and they've locked on. Oh, these are the rocket containers. Brutal. Oh. That is brutal. How are our... Okay, couple of damage control lockers, but that... Oh, that's not looking good. They're not out of the count yet. It looks like they've all got their beams still functioning. Although Will to Live might be lacking the energy to effectively use it. They can still cause some damage if they get up close. Okay, we've got a little conflict in the middle here. Some of those missiles coming through, but you can see that flak being quite effective at stopping it. So we've got a little flagship here, and then we've got one that's loaded up with defenders. Yeah. Okay, so we've gone for having the smaller ships go up to cap the point, and then the battleship. I think, yes, the plan is to just slot it in here to ambush. Now, OSP is getting some good. One would assume. I wish you could do like a sensor mode. Maybe there are all these spectator controls I'm not aware of. Oh, a dogfight. Are these? They are. Okay, so this is really interesting. This is a dogfight between two anti-air armed flights. Although the OSP also has a 35mm skiff here, and that seems like that's pulled the tide. Yeah. Oof. Yes, I think they also had jamming pods. That's definitely going to make things a lot more difficult. Okay, we've got another one of these very expensive missiles flying out. I wonder if Fun and Crows, they have a... Interesting. Yeah, probably would have been better to have a... Oh, yeah. Just a shuttle. Taken out by the battleship, I think, before anything else. That's some heavy jamming being put up. But as you can see, this looks like a bit of a strike force coming from above. Blue sky. No, it still looks like space superiority. It looks like OSP is attempting to ensure space superiority around the top. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I love to see these. We've got a monitor specifically equipped for mine ops. These are great if you can get a point early in the game and safely escort a full mine ship to them. You can really lock these places down to those like late game stealth caps when ships are quite degraded. Okay, Norway having a rough time. We've got some cruise missiles coming in. Let's look at their path. Okay. Given that the defenses are mostly oh no, we've got the yeah. See, these Sarissas actually coming in clutch here. They'll be degrading that barrage, but let's have a look. Let's watch what flak does to... Because they're the rocket launcher ones, I do think the flak actually helped there because the rockets are significantly weaker. We got some light hits onto the battleship, but this is all... Yeah, no. That's not doing much to a properly equipped battleship. They are overkilling on the shuttle, but really tough to do. Oh! Okay, so yeah, this looks like another... That's very deep for a flight that looks like it's tooled towards taking out other fighters. Yeah, that's... Who is that? Yeah, Slayer. I don't know how... Oh! That would have been the missiles that this little thing here. Yeah, 5v5, it's hard to keep a track of all the action. These destroyers are making a valiant effort hugging onto the rock, but I think they've been spotted out by this one here. They really need to turn and move onto that track. Have they locked onto anyone? Okay, they've locked onto this monitor here, but I think that line ship is probably going to be a lot more dangerous. Interesting that the line ship is shooting for this one. Probably the only one they've got a bead on. Okay, we've got some support from the jammers down here. Yeah, no jamming themselves on the destroyers. That's going to make it very difficult for them to fight. We can see those rockets coming in. Not much point defense on here, and yeah, that looks like the mass driver got hit. Yeah, beams devastating when they can get laid on. I don't know if that's the ideal target. This line ship's getting a free pass, and then we've got these two line ships down here that are just going to be able to lay waste on them. They're sort of just kind of heavily outnumbered on this flank. Oh, another rocket strike. Yeah. So PD keeping this guy safe for now. Panicked crew, not quite. Don't know enough about the game to know how worried that should make me. Okay, we've got a bomber flight launching. Interesting mix of loadouts here. I'll be interested to see what the mix is here. A mix of torpedoes is actually extremely effective. Yep, so that's that monitor gone. Gets one last rocket launch off. See if any of them get through the flak. Oh. That's not good. And then we've got, yeah. Those container missiles are going to wreak havoc. Yeah. Oh. And then we've got, is this a... Okay, they're just jammers. But, yeah, needed a little bit of space superiority. And that's... Oh, yeah, those bombs will finish them off. Those are the bigger bombs as well. Okay, not quite finished off. Oh, no, finished off. Yeah. Now the one's weakened, and then this one's already degraded. Not looking good for the ANS on the left flank. On the right flank, okay, yeah, they've got this poor little scout here. I wonder if the scout's going to make a get dash. Oh no, just going to slowly demine? Yeah. I wonder if... Crud is the VLS. Yeah, just chaff decoys. I don't know. Don't know if these two shuttles can bum rush. We do have a flight of bombers launching here. That's a lot of fighters launched. It is just a CVL. Running out of those rockets, looks like we've got SGM-2s. Lots of size 3 rockets though, which should be lovely. Yeah, that destroyer rush has been completely and on left. Now this is the, yes, that's the Bloodhound. I forget, is the Bloodhound the one that can be used as a fire control radar? But they're going to have very accurate locks on these critters, and then we've got a bunch of jamming as well. Jamming going both ways. You hate to see it. How many of these do we have? So it's just those. 24 missiles. I'll be interested to see how much damage Ryan has done by the end of the game. Um, yeah, so we have a pure carrier here. This carrier's been doing a bit of work. Looks like they got exposed to a bit of fire. Was that? Wow. What got him? Looks like it hit a magazine as well. What? Yeah. Damn, what was that? They're out of the game. Maybe that was one of the I must have missed one of Ryan's missiles because it's the only thing I can think of that could reach that. Oh, that sucks. Or maybe it was a missile strike that I missed. Okay, well, that absolutely sucks. Okay, now that the thing is repaired, looks like we have a lot of anti-air missiles and a few bombs. Running low on combat load, ionized tomato, can do a lot of space superiority, not a lot of bombing. Now, oh no. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so they can still do a few strikes, and then they've got quite a few of these little shuttles that they've kind of been. Are they all. Okay, they've got slightly different equips. I like this. Just a shuttle in reserve. Waiting for that stage of the game where shuttles can kind of just pop in. Okay, so we've got another scout. Yeah, so this is one of the things about that I love about Nebulous is there's actually a huge gap in ANS's line, but they're currently holding superiority of the center line of the majority of the map simply because OSP doesn't realize that B point is completely exposed. Like, what are these line ships doing? I guess, yeah, because the thing they want to hit is here. I mean, I'm sure they would love to get these 3 CVLs that are over here. And if OSP can clue into where they are, they can do a lot of work. But if they can't, I wonder, do they have... Yeah, what radars are we working with here? Okay, so there are huntresses. Of course, there's huntresses. But OSP kind of lacks the spyglass long distance radar, which would help them find that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, OSP really not risking a push up the middle. They are going to have a couple of skiffs up. Yeah. This battleship really doesn't need to do much except for just sort of hang around and absorb missiles and airstrikes and all sorts. Now, let's have a look. Will these guys be able to... Not a snowball's chance. Yeah. They're convinced there's something hiding around these rocks. Now, if those destroyers had hid behind one of these rocks and waited for this moment, they might have been able to do something. Okay, so we've got this EWAX, which might be picking up on something. Okay. Oh. That. No. Yeah, I'm going to be very interested on who got that moonshot on Royal Crime. Although potentially the container banks were emptied beforehand. Couldn't have been a Sarissa. Oh, okay. They found the ewax! That's terrible. I don't know if they've realized it yet. That is fantastic presence of mind by Norge. Oh, so that was a full bomber strike, and that did land. See, this is where game knowledge could treat quite well. Attacking from the bottom? That sort of avoided the net there. Oh, that's... It's... The battleship's degraded. Looks like there's still enough damage control lockers to sort of get things rolling again. Nothing too important has been wiped out. And we've still got the restores active. But that still stings. Did those bombers make it out? Doesn't look like it. But also looks like that ewax got taken out. Yeah, so fantastic space superiority game from OSP here. Let's see, there's still plenty of fighters available. But what's our missile load? Okay, so this one's purely bombers. Okay. I don't know how much of that slug load is going to be used. Yeah. Interesting, those DDs are gone, and then we've got this one here, which has bombers. Not a good sign when your carrier is firing. It's taking a few hits. That is just a normal flight. One thing that is excellent about the 20mm OSP fighters is they have stupidly long uptime. Are these... Yeah, so we can see the bingo for these 35mm. Oh, nose illuminators. Same diff. I mean, what? They're halfway and they're almost back. These guys are about the same and they've still got like 20 minutes in play. Interesting. So this is a bomber flight. Oh. And see, this is where hugging so close to the asteroids can really come in handy. Okay, so there is... Look at that flak. They did manage to get a load of bombs off. I don't know if any of them are gonna... Oh, okay, so got landed a couple of hits. Was that full bingo? Surely not. Yeah, just the one cruise missile. I don't think it's going to cut it. Have any of them hit? No. Yeah, and the self-screening jammer just isn't getting into range. Oh, plus the Blackjack Dazzler. Ah, I'm sorry, mate. Your cruise missiles just aren't cutting it. Now, if there were a couple of extra programming channels, I almost think a Rains frigate would be a better platform if you're going to do this kind of shenanigan. Okay. Okay, so there are multiple channels, but is this going to be any real difference? How many missiles we got left? 10 missiles left. Oh no, buddy. You probably just spent as many points as that shuttle is worth. Yeah, and Forcerus is not going to be too great. Okay. Got a fairly decent little strike force coming out from the ANS side. But, yeah. E. Where is E point? He's up here. I don't... They just... Yeah, they've got one line holder left in the middle. And that's it. It's this poor little light cruiser here, which, yeah, doesn't even have a upgraded drive. Okay, we've got this one here. It's locked in. It's gonna miss. That there. Yep, I think this is an OSP game. And a lot of it came down to strike superiority, but honestly, a lot of it came down to the fact that OSP had what? One, two, three solid line holders, plus a bunch of utility uh, fucking corvettes or shuttles that, did get wiped, but they served their purpose of sort of splitting the fire and soaking some of those extremely expensive munitions. Yet the jamming spheres on these interceptors aren't quite cutting it. And the the two-stage beasties on shuttles is never going to be a winning proposition. It's only a matter of time before this guy is out of it. 2 more missiles. Okay. Must have a very fast planning time, but look at that. Yeah. I love the idea of a full missile build. Needs to be better managed than this. Um, you need to mix in some different missiles. Get some SM-200s in there. I know they're not as glamorous, but I feel like a volley of equal amount of points of SM-200s would have actually hit and done a bit of damage there. This battleship, yeah, has just been degraded through constant strikes. We do have our little lovelies here. They've got some boosted bombs. That is a hefty flak net. I think at the end of the day, this OSP force just kind of hard counters the ANS force. They've isolated that battleship, which maybe if there'd been some fighter patrols running interference for it, but ANS just simply never had the fighters, and they were losing those dogfights. Gonna be interesting to see the breakdown in fighter losses at the end of this. Um, ANS actually maintained a points lead for most of the game, and they did. They have managed to hold D, but it's not looking good. Do we still got a beam? We've still got two beam turrets here, so this battleship is still a threatening force, and this poor little shuttle here shouldn't be living for much longer. But does it have the power? Oh, no. Oh no. Oh. Should it should still get those. Yeah, lots of restores remaining. It's honestly where like a damage control center. Oh. Mm. But that should maybe get one of the beams online. Oh, that's embarrassing. Just watching a shuttle walk up on you. And yeah, here comes the end game. Those line ships, once they have a bearing on this poor battleship, it's going to be curtains for ANS. I don't think they've got any way to reclaim these points. Interestingly enough, I think if the light cruiser had made a dash for E, honestly, ANS potentially could have won. Not to put too much on Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. But there were definitely opportunities in that direction. The carriers all survived. Good on them. But with not a lot of fighters. Yeah, I don't agree with the splitting of responsibilities across both, where you've basically just got like a pure bombing flight, one pure fighter flight, because there's no reason you can't split those responsibilities across carriers, and then if you lose one carrier, you've still got the full range of mission capability. Um, oh, that poor battleship. Okay, it's bringing on to bear, but that's that is big old GG's. Fairly close as far as points go, because ANS had the lead on um, those capture points for most of the game. But yeah, okay, so we've got a little dogfight happening here. And that is uh, a fight and a fight and crew. Yeah, something I'm interested to see is some sandshot Tantos. I wanna know how they go. No way. Pulling out the points win in the last minute. I think when OSP sees the results of this, they might be a little salty. Yeah, I think that must be Ryan. Ryan? S- Oh, because he surrendered. Fun and crows. Oh, yeah, so. I mean, those are kind of pathetic stats. Um, Still maintained most of them, but yeah, those air-to-air duels not going great. I feel sorry for these keystones. They just got outplayed. I mean, put in a lot of work, but let too many things through, which is a shame. Um, yeah, okay. Apologies to Ryan. I missed your good hits. Your good hits did a fair amount of damage, but not enough to turn the tides. And then, as usual, we see that the bombers do most of the carrying. Okay, yeah, I wish I'd seen these. I don't. It's some decent damage, but then, oh yeah, that that's a good line ship game. Um, yeah, still managed to do a fair bit of damage on this boy. No mass drivers fired, but got some rockets off, landed some rockets, and yeah, the line ship cleaned up. Now, yeah, those missiles were doing a lot of work before they got absolutely wiped. But yeah, the Barracudas with the bombs doing a good one, and then we've got all these little rocket shuttles doing so much work in the backline, and then some fairly decent numbers on these fighters, and then lastly we've got these two. So this is the mine one. Yeah, none of the mines. Oh no 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 no. The sprint mines did a bit of work there, and some of these fighter craft. Well, actually, extremely efficient when they landed their hits. Um, Flying four sorties. Yeah, I do think missiles on fighter craft are sort of underrated, especially in large numbers. I need to experiment with that a bit more. Um, yeah, thanks for watching.